be Hayden Reinbold. Outside of him, it will be Nick Bilby, the Carl LaFerry Trucking and Demolition. AJ Felker, DRC Chassis number 17, the driver out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Second row from the inside, he's out of Phoenix, Arizona. Driver the Cox Body Shop, Quick Time Electric, DT Oil Service, Kistler Power, XXX number 4U. It's going to be Kyle Shipley. And for the fourth starting spot out of Ione, California, the NOS Energy Drink, Boat Foundation, MPV Express, Kistler Max at number 4. That is Justin Grant. Third row inside line in the 2B, Cale Drake at Collinsville, Oklahoma, the Honest Abe Roofing, Pendleton Farms, Bennick Enterprises, Claxon DRC number 2B. And the drivers so far with the gold record performance here tonight, top of the charts twice. At Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the Curb-Agajanian Apache Transport, Oakcraft Elegant Cabinetry, Team Arizona, Curb-Agajanian Race number 21AZ, that is Dason Pursley. Final row from the inside in 21, that's going to be Ryan Barr at Piqua, Ohio, driver of the Charger Manufacturing, Claxon DRC, Barr family, number 21B. And your final starter, making his USAC national debut in his first year of wingless sprint car competition at a North Star, Ohio, Brian Heitkamp, and the Frenchtown Trailer Sales and Services Chevrolet-powered Spike Chassis, number 22. As that'll be your scheduled lineup here for Simpson Race Products. Heat race number 1 of 4 tonight with the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship.
So 30 cars on tap for what would be, considered night number 1 of the Fall Nationals, which we'll get to tomorrow, but more importantly, the Greg Staub Memorial tonight on Friday at Lawrenceburg Speedway, the first 2-day show that we've had with the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Cars at this racetrack.
So looking forward not only to tonight, but tomorrow, $20,000 on the line, $6,444. We'll see who's going to get up and grab the bone here tonight. Who's got that dog in him?
Good one.
Toyota pace truck making its way down the front straightaway. Field going to jackrabbit their way through turns 3 and 4. Again, 30 drivers here on night number 1. Expecting a few more to roll in tomorrow as Kokomo in action here tonight. The Clash going down. Several of those drivers up north of Indianapolis set to make their way down here for tomorrow's competition. Of course, tomorrow not only is it the finale of the Fall Nationals, it is the finale of the Bubby Jones Racing Master Going Faster presented by Spire Sports and Entertainment. That 10-race series coming to a close this weekend, a 6-point game at the front of the field.
It's also the finale of AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Competition in the Midwest. The last 2 races of this 2024 season will happen over at Red Dirt Raceway in Meeker, Oklahoma.
If you've never been to Red Dirt Raceway, it is a bucket list track. Absolutely beautiful facility that they have worked on. Again, it is a bucket list facility.
With a B. Bucket.
I mean, I'm like, not wrong.
So anyway, yeah, it is a very lovely facility, and they do an excellent job over there. I've never seen a bad race put on at Red Dirt Raceway, but if you haven't seen a race in the Midwest with the AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car Competition, you've got one more chance to do it tomorrow night.
First time in 20 years that USAC has made its way to the Sooner State in Sprint Car Competition. But right now, we're set to go here in Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. Again, Reinbold, Bilby on that front row, Shipley, then Grant, Drake, then Pursley, Barr, then Heitkamp. Round of the NOS Energy start can, we go to green.
What a good start for Nick Bilby. It looked like Hayden Reinbold might have had an excellent start coming off of turn number 4 as they came to the start line, but Nick Bilby off with the jump.
Boy, Shipley down to the bottom side of the speedway, able to edge up in front of the 4, Justin Grant. Thought they were going to go 3 wide for the runner, a spot there for a second. Shipley with the Kistler running beneath the bottom of that machine. Keep an eye on the curb breakers, number 21. Slicing his way through turns 3 and 4 up to that 4th spot. Oh, look out, Cale Drake. Thought he was going to go up and see how the fence was doing. He's going to slow her down to the back straightaway. Something awry on that number 2B. Caution.
Yeah, surely that made something go sideways in the rear end, as it looked like it had some pretty hard contact when it came back down on the top side of the racetrack. But the important thing is it did come back down.
Amazingly, as it dug that right front end, normally, man, you just see the cars dig in and take off as we get a look here on the FloRacing broadcast. The left rear absolutely packed with mud.
And so we talked about this quite a bit in July when we were here for Indiana Sprint Week. Logan Seavey actually won the race with his right rear packed with mud. So a very similar situation, but in this case for Cale Drake, obviously he's going to be feeling that. And it's going to make a big difference in the way the car handles.
And further damage on the left side of that machine. I believe Drake with an update.
Yeah, Brian, you guys talked about it just a second ago, how they packed the left rear with mud, so they're going to have to get all that mud out in the Indy Metal finishing work area, but also the left side Nerf bar damaged pretty heavily. Part of it scraping the ground on that left side, so I imagine they're going to turn their attention to that as well in the Indy Metal finishing work area on the 2B.
Yeah, so of course you don't need the Nerf bar to be competitive, and that really doesn't have an impact on the way that the car would handle, but it does have an impact if it's dragging the ground, so that of course would be a bigger issue. And sorry, the nose of the 21AZ just got my attention. It's all no decals on that thing.
It is, looks like new nose piece. Thought for a second it was just covered up with clay.
I thought it was missing, but it's not. It's there.
Those optical illusion pages you used to get when you were a kid where if you cross your eyes just right.
Yep. So you can see the bottom left corner of what used to be the 21, and
there's a little bit there. Remnants of.
Anyway.
With that, back to green, 2 laps in the book, 6 remain. Bilby leading in the 17, the 3-time Lawrenceburg Speedway track champion leads the 2024 standings coming into the weekend. He's going to bring him around and click off another lap here. Battle for the second spot. It will be the Benz Asphalt number 4 taking that spot over. Shipley up in the second. Reinbold getting shuffled back to third. Grant running in 4th, and 5th is where you want to be. You want to be inside that top 5 right now. It is in the hands of Dason Pursley.
So Justin Grant did just get by Dason Pursley on that last time around in turn number 4. Kind of got up close to the right rear of the 21AZ, and they raced side by side for just a moment. Is now Justin Grant going to try to put a move on Hayden Reinbold?
Try to look to the inside. Nothing happening, though, off of turn number 2. We'll see what happens off of turns 3 and 4. And for the money, does he have the run? Not quite. Reinbold able to keep him at bay. Reinbold getting some good experience in a non-wing car this season, of course, has a lot of success in midget racing. Picked up a win earlier this season in Power Eye competition at Lucas Oil Speedway during the Impact Signs on its Wraps Open Wheel Showdown. Fends off the charge of the 4 for the time being is up front. Bilby still in command with Shipley chasing.
Hayden Reinbold going toe-to-toe with one of the best to ever do it at Lawrenceburg Speedway. Justin Grant has numerous wins here and has shown so much success over the years. Of course, you mentioned that he's the defending winner of this specific event of the Fall Nationals. So Hayden Reinbold being able to fend off that charge, quite impressive.
Round of the white flag, final trip here in Simpson Race Products Heat Race number 1. They will hustle it onto the back straightaway, working the final 2 turns here in your opening heat race of the night. Trying to get a run off of turn number 4, denied. Bilby going to pick up heat race number 1, brought to you by Simpson Race Products. Kyle Shipley going to cross in second, Hayden Reinbold in third, Justin Grant, Dason Pursley. Those 5 drivers moving on directly into your feature event. Ryan Barr, Brian Heitkamp, and Cale Drake unofficially rounding out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he comes to you from right up the road in Indianapolis, Indiana. Driving the Carl LaFerry Trucking and Demolition, AJ Felker Power DRC Chassis. Longworth Rental Properties, number 17. Give him a hand, Nick Bilby, winner in 17. Shipley in second, Reinbold in third, Grant in fourth, Pursley in fifth. Again, those 5 drivers, they are moving on. Barr, Heitkamp, and Drake, a DNF in the 2B.
And so in just a little while, Drake, you're going to talk to your heat race winners. They'll be presented with some extra contingency awards presented by the friends and family of Greg Staub for the Greg Staub Memorial. So a lot of really fun stuff happening throughout the night as it relates to that event.
Quick reminder, down at the USAC merchandise trailer, those Greg Staub Memorial t-shirts, they are going quick. In fact, if you wear anything over an extra large, it's gone. Small through extra large is everything they have left, so make sure and get down there. A couple of different sales going on at the merchandise trailer as well. Not only the Greg Staub Memorial t-shirts, the super sale on the Bubba Jones apparel, the t-shirts, the crew necks, and the hoodies, blankets. What looks better on the edge, on the foot of the bed or on the back of the couch than a monogrammed USAC blanket? Only $30 while supplies last.
While supplies last. That's the important part to remember. But those do look very lovely, I have to say.
Act now. We'll throw in a second one for another $30 now.
Buy one, get one at the exact same price.
Exactly. That's how it rolls here. In the meantime, Round of Supply Heat Race number 2 has made its way down onto the apron of the Speedway, and Sean Westerfeld, the driver to Guilford, Indiana, the Impressive Creations, the Sailor Park Bunch, Westerfeld Power DRC Chassis number 44J, going to take that Staub Memorial car from the pole position. Lining up next to him, he comes to you out of Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania, the JP Masonry and Mountie Real Estate. Newman's XXX number 88J, that will be Joey Amantia. Second row from the inside. Looking to roll tide on the field out of Coleman, Alabama, driving the Inferno Armor Lynch Machining. Lucas Oil Center, 8 Gilstrap Motors, number 3 yards, going to be Kevin Thomas Jr. And to his right, it will be Matt Westfall. He's out of Pleasant Hill, Ohio, driving the Ray Marshall Motorsports Gressman DRC All-Star Performance, number 33M. Third row, 5th starting spot, Carson Garrett out of Littleton, Colorado, the Altos Power Equipment, Hornbeck Concrete, one-way DRC, number 15. And the driver going from the 6th starting spot. He was second quick in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying out of Sutter, California. The Mesilla Valley Transportation, Mountain Mechanical Contractor, Stanton DRC, Indy Power Sports, Rockwell Security, CGCPA's number 57. That is Logan Seavey. Looking to your final row for the inside line, it's going to be Hunter Maddox out of Bedford, Indiana, driving the TJD Roofing and Exteriors, Cummings Powered, DRC Auto Credit, Airmaster Heating and AC, number 24M. And your final starter is scheduled to be Sabin Bybent. Bybent out of Cincinnati, Ohio, the Epoxy Systems International, J&D Chevrolet, XXX signs by Trey, number 98. As that'll be your scheduled lineup here for Ronda Supply Heat Race number 2. Bybent, so far, has been a no-show tonight. As with a word on that, let's take it down to Drake.
Yeah, Brian, you talked about Sabin Bybent not being able to make the call here in Rod and Supply Heat Race number 2. Talked with Sabin just a bit ago when they were going to fire off the car for engine heat earlier today. They found 2 bolts in the U-joint broken, so they spent all day now fixing that U-joint and replacing it, and he has not turned a lap all night here at the Lawrenceburg Speedway. He missed both sessions of his dirt draft hot laps and on his day of roofing qualifying, and now he'll miss his heat race. But the good news is still plenty of time to fix that 98 car before the Elliott's Custom Trailers and Karts semi-feature.
Well, that's tough sledding indeed, and surely if Sabin Bybent still has issues tonight and is not quite able to get that turned around, there's always tomorrow, $20,000 to win the Fall Nationals. So there's another opportunity to get things set in the right direction tomorrow for quite some money to win.
So if you're just joining us on the broadcast, Heat Race number 2 brought to you by Ronda Supply on track. Nick Bilby winning his first heat race of the season. In Heat Race number 1, he is the 39th driver so far this year to do so. Justin Grand, Robert Ballou have each won a dozen heat races this year. Brady Bacon at 10, Logan Seavey at 9, along with Kyle Cummins. Matt Westfall, Kevin Thomas Jr. each at 8 heat race wins. Leary, Stockton, and Moles each at 7. You got Westfall on track. You've got Seavey on track. You got KTJ on track, all looking to add to those totals.
And many of those names you just mentioned have a lot of success at this racetrack. Kevin Thomas Jr., you just mentioned, also one of those drivers. He picked up a win during the Justin Owen Memorial in April at this racetrack. And then, of course, Logan Seavey, your most recent winner during Indiana Sprint Week.
And, of course, Kevin Thomas Jr., who is a 3-time champion of this event, has 6 overall USAC national wins here. We'll see what he does for the inside of that second row as we go to green. Westerfeld going to lead him into 1, but down to the bottom, here comes the man with the plan, Kevin Thomas Jr., rolling up to the race lead as they work into turns 3 and 4, the Inferno Armor. Rocksteady, number 3, going to come around to lead lap number 1. The 44J going to fall to second. Avantia right now going to run in third. Battle going to be for that 4th spot. Seavey trucking up high in the MVT number 57.
Meanwhile, Logan Seavey back behind, you mentioned, trying to find a way around Joey Amantia and Matt Westfall. Didn't quite get it done last time. Now he's going to recalculate, recalibrate, and try to find a way as Matt Westfall puts a slide on Joey Amantia.
Remember, top 5 going to move on directly into your feature event. And right now, that final transfer spot in the hands of your current USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship points leader. 13 times a winner so far this season. His 12th in sprint car competition was here during Sprint Week. Trying to race in and see if he can get one more here as we check back up front. Kevin Thomas Jr., well, to quote Tony Bachhoven, has thrown the keys on the counter, and he has checked out so far in this one. 1.5 seconds his advantage last time by over Westerfeld. It grows to 2.277. Westfall running in third, Amantia running in fourth, Seavey in fifth, Garrett and Maddox right now running out your running order.
Logan Seavey still holds down that final transfer position in Rod and Supply Heat Race number 2. He did just lose a little bit of ground to Joey Amantia, and previously was feeling some pressure from Carson Garrett, who has began to back off now. So Logan Seavey kind of on an island at the moment.
Drivers not really utilizing the very bottom side of the racetrack so far in this one. Running more middle to high side. You see the bottom still just a little bit too wet for drivers to get down there. They'll go down, they'll dip that left front, but that's about as far down as they go here. As Westerfeld continues to hold on to that second spot, but that time Matt Westfall picked up several car links on him into turns 1 and 2.
Carson Garrett beginning to apply the pressure just a little bit to the inside of Logan Seavey in turns number 1 and 2. Coming off of turns number 4, Logan Seavey, a much better drive at the white flag.
Final trip around. Your leader going to make his way into the final 2 turns in this one. Checkered flag going to drop. And Kevin Thomas Jr. for the 9th time this season going to pick up a heat race win in Ronda Supply Heat Race number 2. Westerfeld going to cross in second. Matt Westfall in third. Amantia going to cross in fourth. Seavey in fifth. Carson Garrett and Hunter Maddox unofficially rounding out your field. So your winner, ladies and gentlemen, 3rd to 1st here in Ronda Supply Heat Race number 2. The driver to Coleman, Alabama, the Inferno Armor Lynch Machine and Lucas Oil Center, Stanton Mach 1 number 3R race fans. Give him a hand, Kevin Thomas Jr. Sean Westerfeld in second, Matt Westfall in third, Joey Amantia in fourth, Logan Seavey in fifth. Those five drivers on to the feature event. Carson Garrett, Hunter Maddox into your Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts semi-feature event.
So we just talked about Kevin Thomas Jr. has been very successful at Lawrenceburg Speedway, but the team he's driving for, Rocksteady Racing, that 3R, has also had a lot of success at this racetrack. They won the Fall Nationals with Kyle Cummins just a few years ago.
So we'll bring the water truck out and we'll roll the high side of the speedway in a little bit, and we'll stage the field down to the apron here on the front straightaway in just a moment. But TJ Ford's heat race number 3 going to be next onto the racing surface. And another one of our Greg Staub Memorial throwback cars going to be on the pole here. Todd Hobson at Clyde, Victoria, Australia, driving the Drew Fab Electric Works one-way DRC. Bright refinishes number 44. He's going to lead him down to the drop of the green flag. Next to him, Brandon Maddox out of Terre Haute, Indiana, driving the Maddox Heating and Cooling Pro Source Newman Motorsports number 28. Second row from the inside, Chase Stockton out of Fort Branch, Indiana, driving the Bandit Agfisher DRC Amsoil Daywig Meese number 5S. And from the fourth starting spot is scheduled to be Jaden Rogers at Worthington, Indiana. The Midwest Dyno Services, Shane Wade Enterprises, Amati Racing at number 66. Robert Ballou, a two-time winner in this event in 2007 and 2008, set to go from the fifth starting spot. Driver out of Rockland, California, driver the Suburban Subaru, Mountain Mechanical Contractors, Deaton Waterfront Services, Birch Western Telecom, Hinchman, Indy number 12 machine. And outside of him, it is the Macho Man, Brady Bacon out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, the Todd Hoffman Construction, Telstar Technologies, Ryder XXX Hobson Family, number 69. Final starter scheduled to be Dakota Earls out of Independence, Missouri, the Wholesale Battery, Show Me Guttering, Don Hot XXX Chassis, number 15E. As that'll be your scheduled lineup here for TJ Ford's Heat Race number 3 of 4 here on night number 1 of the Fall Nationals and the inaugural running of the Greg Staub Memorial.
What's so cool about this Greg Staub Memorial that we've been talking about tonight is not every event that is a memorial or that is a tribute or that is anything in general has multiple teams show up having reconfigured their entire scheme to honor and represent what the event means. And that has happened twice here tonight for the Greg Staub Memorial. So that just kind of tells you the impact that he had on the sport and on this area specifically. So Greg Staub, obviously a very influential figure in non-wing sprint car racing.
And we talked about it during opening ceremony. He's a 5-time champion here. He was a promoter here. He was a series director for the United States Auto Club. It wasn't just as a driver. He had everybody's respect also as an official and as a promoter, and there's not many who are able to bridge that gap.
Yeah, and you know, obviously he did a little bit of everything, and he was able to bridge that gap in many, many ways. And we've seen several other people be able to do that over the years. Levi Jones comes to mind as one of those individuals. And so Greg Staub, he was that kind of guy. And if you ever had a chance to meet him in person, which I was fortunate to, he was an excellent person to know on a personal level as well.
So I've been told another one of Greg's favorite songs, Brick House by the Commodores. There's people in the stands dancing along. How can you not?
Yeah, those are some excellent choices. People of all ages can appreciate Greg Staub's taste in music, I think.
Yes.
How many years apart are we?
Let's see. I'm almost 40.
Okay. All right.
We will leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. Forget it.
That was not the right question, but this is the right answer. Around to the NOS Energy start can. We go to green.
Always the right answer. What a great start for Brandon Maddox, who has been slowly finding more speed as the night has chugged along. Jaden Rogers, though, going to apply some pressure and, dare I say,
Ruh-roh.
So Brandon Maddox being penalized for a jump start.
You got a little too good of a start.
And sometimes that happens.
Right answer, wrong test. So he will suffer the 2-spot penalty. And that is going to shuffle things up here. And Stocking going to go from third to second here on the restart.
Not entirely sure that that's what Jaden Rogers wanted to see, who had began to apply some pressure there on Brandon Maddox, who seemed to be getting away from the field quite quickly. And now Jaden Rogers is going to start on the inside of the racetrack, inverted from where he was. And he was really kind of using that banking and gravity to his advantage.
So we'll see if he can counter that here from the inside start. They come around to the NOS Energy start can. Much better start this time. And from the outside, as they were even, that outside line once again going to have the advantage. The Bandit Ag number 5 going to take off the race lead. Nearly 3 wide for the third spot. Here comes the Madman to the inside. Baloo trying to march his way forward in this one.
Chase Stocking really going to take advantage of this gift he's been giving to sit on the front row of TJ Ford's heat race number 3. I was just talking with Richie Murray a little while ago. It seems like Chase Stocking always good for a heat race win at Lawrenceburg Speedway, but don't look now as Robert Ballou sits in second.
Robert Ballou getting a win here in weekly competition back in April. Comes around with that second spot. Hobson going to fall to third. Jaden Rogers running in fourth. Brady Bacon right now with the final transfer into the feature event, looking for insurance, and he's going to go ahead and get a better rate to the back straightaway. Gets by the 66 and the 69.
So now Jaden Rogers holding down that final chance position. Brandon Maddox, who was originally in the lead of that initial start, which was called back. Now he sits one spot out looking in, going to try to catch up to the 66.
Robert and Brady working about lower than everybody through turns 1 and 2. Brady down to the bottom side looking for the third spot. He continues to ride in fourth. Hobson able to keep him at bay right now. As Brady entering into that lower side of turn number 1, letting the car sweep out, trying to keep that momentum up. Battle going on behind them. Rogers right now trying to stay in a transfer spot. Brandon Maddox trying to take it from him.
You mentioned during the last heat race and Rodden Supply heat race number 2 that no driver's really using the bottom side of the racetrack. Not true in this case. Brady Bacon is using that level of the racetrack, and he's beginning to propel forward. Started 6th, now runs in 4th.
And so far, not really able to go around and, in essence, kind of pole putt the racetrack, but able to go in and get his left rear down to that moisture and get some drive on the car. Not as low that time into turns 1 and 2 as Stocking continues to lead. That time, his quickest lap of the race at a 14.793. He'll come around this time with the lab coat flying, 1 to go.
Jaden Rogers still sitting in that final check position. Brandon Maddox 1 lane higher than him in turns number 3 and 4. He's going to have 1 more lap to try and get it done. The white flag's out.
Blue giving chase into turns 3 and 4, but it is going to be Chase Stocking coming around to pick up TJ Ford's heat race number 3. Robert Ballou crossing in second. Todd Hobson in third. Brady Bacon in fourth. Jaden Rogers holds on for fifth. Brandon Maddox and Dakota Earls unofficially rounding out your field. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he hails out of Fort Branch, Indiana, driving the Bandit Ag, Davis Brothers, Superior Truck and Trailer, Fisher, DRC, KO Motorsports, number 5S. Race fans, give him a hand. Chase Stocking, your winner. Robert Ballou in second, Todd Hobson in third, Brady Bacon in fourth, Jaden Rogers in fifth, Brandon Maddox in sixth, and Dakota Earls rounding out your field in seventh. Eighth time this season that Chase Stocking has picked up a heat race win. As we look on to Car IQ heat race number 4. Kayla Rell, winner earlier this season in weekly competition here at the Lawrenceburg Speedway. She will go from the pole position, driving the Clark's Home Service, heavy-duty truck and transmission, Davis Brothers Southern Insurance, number 5K. Lining up next to her in 15, it's going to be C.J. Leary out of Greenfield, Indiana. The Altos Power Equipment of Abilene, Hornpeck Concrete, Highsmith Guns, number 15X. Second row from the inside. He has made the cut in this event 5 times in his career. He is out of Jasper, Indiana, driving the R. Keith Rooney Dentistry, Williams Precision, Triple X Chassis, DJ Safety, number 76. It's going to be J.J. Hughes. And for the 4th starting spot, Kyle Cummins out of Princeton, Indiana, the Avante Windows and Doors, Premier Recycling, Apache Transport, number 3P. Third row from the inside line, it's going to be Mitchell Moles. He's out of Raisin City, California, driving the AME Electrical, Mississippi Valley Transportation, Walker Filtration, number 19AZ. And to his right, Briggs Danner out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, the Boulevard Truck Repair, Ryder, DRC, Schneider & Sons Recycling, Davis Brothers, number 39. Final starter here in Car IQ Heat Race number 4 from the 7th starting spot. He is out of Bedford, Indiana, driving the DR Excavating, Terry Cummings Power, DRC Pro Vision, Kindred Spirits, number 71B. That is Braxton Cummings. As that'll be your scheduled lineup for Car IQ Heat Race number 4, final heat race of the evening for the USAC Amsoil Sprint Car National Championship. So remember, back to Sprint Week, Briggs Danner was looking to pick up career win number 2. However, the engine foiled that. He led 1 lap. We went under caution. Unfortunately, lap 17 was the only one he led. But by the end of the week, he did finally pick up that second win in our Sprint Week finale which was rescheduled due to Mother Nature out of Bloomington.
And it seems like when we look over the 2024 editions of both Eastern Storm and Indiana Sprint Week, Briggs Danner picked up the initial win at Eastern Storm at Grandview Speedway. That was his first career AMSOIL USAC National Sprint Car feature victory, the only one he had at the time. Then we look at every night that followed that during our Pennsylvania swing.
And better.
He did, and you could argue that he should have won, and should have being, the key phrase here, should have won 2 or 3 of those races that followed during Eastern Storm.
Well,
and then the same was true during Indiana Sprint Week, exactly.
Coming down to the last lap, and again, mechanical problems.
Bridgeport, same
yes.
thing. So, yeah, you reference a couple of those events during Eastern Storm and Indiana Sprint Week where Briggs Danner was extremely competitive, one of those being here at Lawrenceburg Speedway, had an opportunity to win the race and just had something go wrong.
So 4th fastest in qualifying. That's why he's starting at the outside of row number 3. Again, if you're new to USAC National Sprint Car Competition, you're looking at the format going, how did they get this? Well, out of qualifying with a 4-heat race format, that is going to be a 24-car inversion, so it will be your fastest qualifier going to the right of row number 3 in heat race number 1, second quick to the right of row number 3 in heat race number 2, and they will snake that all the way through from row 3 all the way up to row number 1, and then at position number 25 in qualifying, then you drop down, and that fills in your following rows.
Yes, so I like to remember that when we have a 4-heat race format, positions in qualifying 17 to 24 are going to make up your front rows.
And, of course, the way it works, it is your 6 fastest qualifiers that transfer in directly out of the heat race. They go into the first 3 rows, inverted. However, if you win the heat race, well, you just knock somebody out, and now that changes things up. So you could effectively take somebody from starting inside the top 10 to starting maybe outside of the top 15.
And we see that happen often, whereas if Briggs Danner were to win this heat race, then he would occupy one of those top 6 starting positions as he was 4th fastest in Honest Abe Roofing qualifying, and he would wipe out one of those heat race winner spots as well.
So we'll see how things shake out here in Car IQ heat race number 4. We go to green, and it will be driver the number 15 jumping out to the early advantage, diving down, protecting the bottom into turns 1 and 2. Leary going to lead the way, battle for the second spot. The Avante Windows and Doors number 3 going head-to-head with the KO Motorsports number 5. It will be the advantage to the 3 of Cummins.
Things got pretty interesting there between Kay Laurel and Kyle Cummins, both winners at the Lawrenceburg Speedway there on that last lap. But now Kyle Cummins going to be looking for the 15X of CJ Leary.
Looking up to the outside, battle for the 3rd spot. Hughes bounces her off of the cushion, rail to the middle, not able to fend off the charge. You've got the 19 AZ as well as the 39 hot on the heels as they work onto the back straightaway. So far, Moles with a run onto the backside, far side of the speedway, takes it to the outside. He's got the pass, and Kay Laurel now with a final transfer, but not for long. Oh, look out, Danner, contact with the right rear. They made their way off of turn number 4.
Yeah, definitely what looked like a racing deal there, as Mitchell Moles was one of the drivers who was kind of caught up between J.J. Hughes and Kay Laurel trying to sort out who was going to take over that 3rd position. So Mitchell Moles fell back, and now he's trying to rally back as he looks for the 3rd position over J.J. Hughes.
So a good save by both of those drivers as we continue on in the green flag conditions. C.J. Leary in the meantime trying to open up his advantage, 1.032 seconds at the line last time around over Kyle Cummins. It is 1.111 now. Taylor Rail continues to hold on to that final transfer into the feature event. Briggs Danner goes up to the top shelf. He's got to run as he buries the throttle onto the backstretch. He will take away the 5th position now. Takes his line a little bit lower into the entry turn number 3. Back to the cushion off of turn number 4. But he has got himself in the show if he can hold on with 2 to go.
So now Briggs Danner with a pretty comfortable advantage in that 5th position. The battle for 3rd beginning to heat up between Mitchell Moles and J.J. Hughes. Mitchell Moles just now getting across the nose of the 76.
Short slides into turn number 3 as they come around to the wave of the white flag. Beneath the lab coat they fly. The prescription is victory here as they work off a turn number 4. Checker flag going to drop in this one, and C.J. Leary going to pick up heat race number 4, brought to you by Car IQ. Kyle Cummins going to cross in 2nd, Mitchell Moles in 3rd, J.J. Hughes in 4th, Briggs Danner in 5th, Braxton Cummings, and Kay Laurel unofficially rounding out your field. So your winner, ladies and gentlemen, he comes here to Greenfield, Indiana, driving the Altos Power Equipment, Valvoline, One-Way DRC, BGE, Darty Motorsports, number 15X. Race fans, give him a hand, C.J. Leary. Kyle Cummins in 2nd, Mitchell Moles in 3rd, J.J. Hughes in 4th, Briggs Danner in 5th, Braxton Cummings, and Kay Laurel, again unofficially, rounding out your field. As that will wrap up heat race action for the USAC AMSOIL Sprint Car National Championship. Coming up next should be heat races for your pure stocks. We'll have our heat race interviews between our pure stock and our Hornet heat races. As with that,
All right, thank you very much, Brian and Christy. Great job on the mics there for the 4 sprint car heat races. So we have 2 Impact Sports Pure Stock heat races, followed by 2 Lawrence Motorsports Trailer Sales Hornets heat races. And we'll have sprint car heat race winner interviews on the stage. And we'll go right into a USAC sprint car B main. And that will set up for tonight's inaugural running of the Greg Staub Memorial. But Impact Sports Pure Stocks are headed to the Speedway right now. First of 2 heat races, 8 laps the distance. Everybody is making the big show. Top 4 drivers will head back to get their cars teched after each of the heat races. Your pole sitter, the 63, is John Heaston out of Glenwood, Indiana. Outside the front row, Scipio, Indiana's Mickey Hines in the 43. Row number 2, it's Indianapolis, Indiana's Jason Trimmer, the second in the 72T. Outside him, it's Travis Butt in the 24. Row number 3 is the 1W of Riker Williams out of Hanover, Indiana. Flanking him is Daniel Hupp out of Scipio, Indiana in the 34 DJ. And row number 4 is the 44 of Mike Ackman out of Rising Sun, Indiana. So that's your lineup for heat race number 1 for the Impact Sports Pure Stock. Again, John Heaston and Mickey Hines, the front row. Jason Trimmer, the second. Travis Butt, row number 2. Riker Williams, Daniel Hupp, the third row. Mike Ackman starting all alone back in row number 4. One to go at the line. You know, these Pure Stocks, so here we come to the green flag out of turn